Hello and welcome back to the Chronicles of a Gooner, the Arsenal podcast brought to you by the last man standing with Liverpool.com. As ever, I'm your host, Symeou, and on this special edition, I'm recording from right by the sea actually. This is my current view at the moment, watching the waves come in, watching the waves kick in. Currently visiting some family who live right on the beach. It's an incredible place to be, relaxing. Not sure what the signal's like though, so it may be a little bit later on in the day when you finally receive this, or when you finally find it on YouTube by the time I upload it on their dodgy Wi-Fi. But nonetheless, let's start off by talking about the news that Chronicles and Mustafi oh bless me, and Mohamed Elneny could be on their way out of the football club. Of course, the transfer window is still open in Europe. We know that. There are some clubs fishing around Chronicles and Mustafi. Roma have been linked, Monaco have been linked. But Unai Emery has pretty much said to the two that they can leave, and that it's in their best interest too. And I agree with that. I think if they want to be playing football, in particular Mohamed Elneny, who's been very patient at Arsenal, who's been around a while now, hasn't really got the opportunities, probably because he's not good enough. That's the harsh reality of it. But I think it's in Mohamed Elneny's best interest if he goes. Now in Chronicles and Mustafi's case, look, I've said it before, I don't think he's as bad as everybody makes him out to be. I think he's an average defender playing in a really poor defence, as are lots of our defenders. And I think that with Chronicles and Mustafi, he needs to move on too, for the better of sort of his career, so he can go on and rebuild and start again, because his reputation has taken somewhat of a beating here, and I don't think it's always necessarily been fair, the sort of criticism that he's received. But Emery's been upfront about it. You'd assume that the conversations have gone on in the background before this sort of public comment, or we know it has because Unai Emery practically said it. But we know that they've had that conversation. They've been having conversations throughout last season, and it's kind of a mutual agreement that it's probably best for the players and for Arsenal Football Club if those two move on. So wish them the best of luck if it does indeed happen. But we've still got to convince somebody to pay money for Chronicles and Mustafi, so I'm not holding my breath just yet on that one. Looking ahead to the game against Liverpool, of course, and not many people give us a hope because of the recent results at Anfield. They've not been good. Liverpool went very close to winning the Premier League title. Of course, they're champions of Europe. Started the season well results-wise, not necessarily been at their brilliant best in terms of their performances, I'd say. But going to Anfield is never going to be an easy task, and I'm not at all looking forward to it, I've got to say. But I think sometimes it's better to get these games out of the way at the start of the season, when perhaps these teams haven't fully clicked into gear. Maybe we've got a better chance of winning because of that. I think Arsenal have shown some good signs going forward, but I don't think the defensive problems have been solved. As I said on the last video, I think David Luiz gives us the ability to play out from the back more comfortably, but does he necessarily tighten up that defence? I'd probably argue no at this point until we see otherwise. So that's kind of where I stand on that. I think Arsenal could nick a draw though. I think Arsenal could surprise a few people and nick a draw up at Anfield, and if we did, that would be a fantastic result. North London derby around the corner as well, which I'll be back for, and I'll be previewing that on the Friday before as well. I'll be back in the UK, so I'll be getting some guests on for that too. No more of these quick iPhone videos or whatever you want to call them. But yeah, so I think Unai Emery's got a bit of a team selection headache though, if I'm honest. I think that, well, we know that Granit Xhaka is likely to be available again, Mesut Ozil too, after being out for various reasons. Ozil because he was a little bit behind fitness-wise due to the time he was given off after what was happening with those gangs and things like that. And we know that Granit Xhaka had a bit of an injury, so he'll be back, I think. But I think that many people expect Emery to go with the midfield that he played against Burnley, and that was Willock, Ceballos and Guendouzi. And for me, there's still a little bit of a balance issue in that midfield trio for me. It still doesn't quite balance right, in my opinion anyway. I think that we got away with it because we were playing Burnley at home, no disrespect to them, but they're a team who were primarily going to come there and sit back, and once we scored, it drew them out a little bit, and they did cause us some problems at the other end. But ultimately their game plan would have been to come to the Emirates and be defensive and be as tight as possible. And I think it will be very different against Liverpool. I think we'll need to show other qualities against Liverpool. Perhaps Lucas Torreira is ready to start a game. Fingers crossed he is, because I think we need, like I said, that little bit more balance. I thought Symeou was brilliant. I thought Guendouzi was okay against Burnley, but you know, it's about finding the right combination. It's about finding the balance between attack and defence, a midfield that can tuck in and muck in when necessary, but also has that creative spark to provide for what is no doubt an exciting front line. Hopefully Pepe will get in the nod from the start. I thought he looked really exciting when he came on in the second half against Burnley, but of course I trust Unai to make that decision based on his fitness, because we know that he's been a little bit behind in that department. Right, that brings us to the end of this very short preview, and I do apologise that these are short, but I am on holiday and I'm trying to stay away from the podcasts and all that stuff for a while, just to have a little bit of a break and refresh. But it would be rude of me not to bring a video ahead of such a massive game. Arsenal up at Anfield on Saturday evening. I'll be watching it here from sunny Cyprus. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit share too, leave us a comment, leave us your predictions in the comment actually, and apologies again to those of you who listen on the audio. There is no audio versions of these. As I said last time, I don't have the equipment with me to convert files and things like that, but yeah, hope you enjoy the video anyway, and I'll be back after the Liverpool game giving you my quick thoughts. So from sunny Cyprus, goodbye.